Hello, you're kicking off the Monday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with MINH and the gun deadlines. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính receives chairman of JBIC. Night training test troop competency. Vietnam reaffirms commitment to UN Charter. On June the 29th in Hanoi, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính received Mr. Miyada Tadashi, chairman of the Board of Directors, along with his delegation from the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, who are on a working visit to Vietnam. The Prime Minister acknowledged and highly praised JBIC's support through policy dialogues and loans that have promoted Japanese investment in key infrastructure and energy projects in Vietnam. He called on JBIC to continue supporting Vietnam's green transition based on providing loans for Japanese enterprises to implement green projects worth over $20 billion under the announced ASEAN framework. Chairman Media thanked the Prime Minister for the meeting and affirmed that with strong Vietnam-Japan relations and high-level political commitment, JBIC is ready to provide loan support for Japanese enterprises' green transition projects in Vietnam within the ASEAN framework. He also noted JBIC and Japanese businesses' interest in participating in infrastructure projects and urban development, following the transit-oriented development model. On June the 29th, following the ninth session of the 15th National Assembly, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff and Down Defense Minister, joined the Bình Dương National Assembly delegation in meeting voters in Bầu Bàng and Bắc Tân Uyên districts. At the meetings, the delegation briefed voters on the key outcomes of the ninth session, highlighting historic and breakthrough decisions passed by the National Assembly. Voters expressed strong support for these resolutions, recognizing their significance in the country's development. They raised concerns of administrative boundary adjustments, including the proposed merger of Bình Dương and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu into Ho Chi Minh City, as well as streamlining the state apparatus. Voters also voted opinions on public health services, counterfeit goods, food safety, cybersecurity threats, high-tech crime, transportation infrastructure, and land management. On behalf of the delegation, General Nguyễn Tân Cương thanked voters for their sincere and responsive feedback, affirming that their suggestions could be conveyed to the National Assembly and relevant agencies. He also addressed several voter concerns within his authority and shared updates on global and regional developments, as well as notable achievements in military and defense tasks. On this occasion, General Nguyễn Tân Cương and the delegation presented funding for the construction of 5 Grade 2 houses, 10 Grade Solidarity houses, and 2 gift packages for large contributors' families and those in difficult circumstances in Bình Dương province. On June the 20th and the 29th, officers and soldiers from Coast Guard Region 2 visited ethnic and religious communities in Hoài Hậu, Quất, Hoài Nhân, Theo, Bình Định province, offering free medical checkups, distributing medicine, and giving gifts. The civil-military program Coast Guard Forces with Ethnic and Religious Communities, organized by Coast Guard Region 2 and Bình Định Commission for Information, Education and Mass Dissemination, featured activities such as maritime and Coast Guard awareness campaigns, the contest I Love My Homeland Sea and Islands, with 45 scholarships and 24 bicycles for disadvantaged students, visits to martyr cemeteries, and presentation of gifts to heroic Vietnamese mothers and 50 ethnic and religious families in need. These meaningful actions reflect the Coast Guard responsibility and gratitude toward policy, families, and local communities, while also raising youth awareness about national sovereignty and strengthening bonds between the Coast Guard and the people. On June the 29th, officers and soldiers participating in the parade formations holding the party flags, national flags, and honor red flags of Military Region 2 and those from the female military medical personnel formation of Military Region 1 visited the Ho Chi Minh Museum. During the tour, the participants were briefed on President Ho Chi Minh's life and revolutionary journey, including his quest for national salvation and the Communist Party of Vietnam's leadership in Vietnam historic victories. The visit also highlighted global events that shaped President Ho Chi Minh's career and the Vietnamese Revolution. The experience contributed to deepening the true understanding of President Ho Chi Minh's thought, ethics, and enduring dedication to national liberation, thus reinforcing their spirit and determination to excel in the upcoming parade duties. In the modern combat environment, the ability to fight at night is one of the important factors. Unexpected confrontations, day and night, require soldiers to master all situations. In order to hone troop bravery, will, and skills, in recent times, military units have promoted night training, setting high requirements for quality, realistic training sessions, helping soldiers master combat tactics and skills and be ready to fight in all conditions. Night combat situation of officers and soldiers of Brigade 673. As soon as the alarm signal went off, the troops quickly got into position. In the dark and rainy conditions, troops of Brigade 673 stood rough to carry out their training session. To conduct training at night, our unit has been well prepared. To have a good night training session, we have to practice the movements of gunners in daytime. In the quiet night and complex terrain, Regiment 141 turned the darkness into a special training ground. Night training sessions are not only technical exercises, but also a furnish to forge the soldiers' fighting spirit. We have started planning and training since the first year. For tactical training, we organize sections for troops to march and camp at night, thereby improving the bravery and command level of officers and soldiers in carrying out tasks. The night training ground has become a real training ground, helping troops improve their organizational and combat scenaristic skills, always ready to respond to all situations on prospective battlefields. Coming up next, Vietnam reaffirms commitment to UN Charter. Gondang, paradise of discovery and ecological experience. A plenary session of the UN General Assembly was recently held in New York to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Charter. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Đỗ Hùng Việt, permanent representative of Vietnam to the UN, emphasized the historical significance and enduring values of the Charter in Vietnam's struggle for independence and sovereignty. The Vietnamese diplomat recalled that 2 months after the UN Charter was signed in 1945, Vietnam declared its independence. However, the country then had to endure decades of resistance wars to defend its right to self-determination and territorial integrity against blatant violations of the Charter. He stressed that Vietnam's story, like those of many other nations, proves that aggression, interference, and the use of force ultimately fail, while the will of the people and the right to self-determination will always prevail. He reaffirmed Vietnam's enduring choice of peace, cooperation, and reconciliation, values that lie at the heart of the UN Charter. Marking the occasion, Vietnam called on the international community to reflect on the lessons of history, avoid repeating past mistakes, and fully uphold the Charter for world peace, justice, and sustainable development for all. The Vietnam-UK Finance and Investment Association, or VIFA UK for short, has been officially launched in London, aiming to become a trusted bridge between the financial and business communities of both countries. The launch event brought together a wide range of British and Vietnamese financial institutions, trade associations, and businesses. As a non-profit organization with around 100 founding members, including finance professionals, asset managers, investors, legal experts, and fintech companies from the UK, Vietnam, and other countries, VIFA seeks to build a cross-border ecosystem for sharing knowledge, experience, and opportunities in finance and investment. The goal is to enhance the global competitiveness of Vietnamese finance firms. At the launch, VIFA's leadership outlined 3 strategic pillars for development over the next 3 years: connection and capacity building through regular seminars and mentorship programs led by top industry experts; policy research and advocacy with international expert contributions, and community support, offering tailored financial consulting for Vietnamese individuals, businesses, and startups in the UK and beyond.
Thank you for watching.
Many localities in Vietnam are promoting a strong innovation ecosystem to facilitate the active development of the startup community. This effort has been recognized by many international organizations. After many years of operating his business in Australia, Hoàng Bảo Long decided to return to Vietnam to establish a new tech startup in the National Innovation Center. According to him, many policies have been adjusted to better support the startup community. I can feel the entrepreneurial spirit in Hanoi, which can be compared to the one in Australia or the US, is the willingness to do any given task. The 2025 Global Startup Ecosystem Index report by Startup Link highlights the remarkable and breakthrough progress of Vietnam's three major startup hubs. For the first time, Ho Chi Minh City entered the top 5 startup ecosystem in Southeast Asia, ranking 110 globally, its highest position ever. Hanoi climbed 9 places to reach 148, while Da Nang made a strong impression with a leap of 130 ranks, reaching 766, becoming the fastest growing startup locality in the country. Vietnam's innovation ecosystem is highly regarded, especially in emerging technologies. Specifically, Vietnam ranks second in Southeast Asia for blockchain, with Ho Chi Minh City making it to the global top 30 in this field. Meanwhile, Hanoi stands out in the logistics sector, ranking 6th in the region, reaffirming the role of technology and supply chains in the country's national startup development strategy. Located about 185 kilometers from the mainland, Con Dao is not only famous for its wild beauty but also an ideal destination for exploring and experiencing ecology. This island belongs to Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province with an area of about 76 square kilometers, passing beautiful beaches, diverse ecosystem, and heroic history. Not only for relaxation, this place is also a destination boasting many great cultural and historical values. A trip to Con Dao will bring visitors unforgettable experiences, helping them love nature more and appreciate Vietnam's natural historical values. Con Dao is a sacred place with lasting historical value for the Vietnamese people. This place is also a natural tourist area, a biodiversity conservation area, playing a particularly important role in the strategy for sustainable development of the national marine economy and protecting national defense and security. In May 2025, the total number of visitors to Con Dao reached 90,486. In 2025, the Con Dao Tourism Industry aims to strongly develop green sustainable tourism, ecotourism, and resorts, targeting to increase the number of tourists by 4.4% and accommodation service revenue by 13.22%. For visitors to the Con Dao prison relic site to have an impressive experience, we brought in a work statue system recreating the daily life of Con Dao prisoners. Soon, we will organize a night tour with sound and light to create the most effective experience for visitors visiting the relic site. Con Dao is one of the most important nature reserves in Vietnam, with primary forests, blue sea, and long stretches of fine white sand. Con Dao National Park, which covers most of the archipelago, is home to many rare species of flora and fauna, including sea turtles, dugongs, and various beautiful coral species.
And I've appreciated a lot just how much the project has done and how much it has been appreciated by all partners. To have come to Con Dao has also shown me how important is the work that we are doing here in conservation altogether with government partners, the National Park, WWF, and everyone.
The Politburo's resolution on socio-economic development and ensuring national defense and security in the Southeast region sets the goal of building Gondao into a national tourist area, promoting unique cultural, historical, spiritual values, high-quality marine eco-tourism services with the synchronous, modern, and competitive technical infrastructure system in the region and internationally. It is the end of the latest news bulletin today. You'll watch the news again at QPVN.vn. For the goodbye and see you next time.